Morning, Micromap here, bringing you a stock market report. Saturday, October 7th, I want to say. It's already the 7th. So big rally yesterday on Wall Street on the jobs report. The jobs report blew out the expectations, and I think this rally is just a technical bounce because if we look here at the futures, the 10 going for a walk and the dog's barking at me. The 10-year future hit a high during the trading session of, let's see here, it says waiting for chart. See if I go to 2-day chart, maybe go 15-minute. Let me go to hour. It hit a high of 488. So the 10-year yield is approaching 5%. I think the 30-year did hit 5% or more. And those are numbers that we haven't seen in a long time. And that should have put pressure on stocks, and it didn't. We did open down. I think the reversal on the NASDAQ was about 500 points. We'll take a look at that. The dollar his 2-day chart hit 106.97, almost 107, and the low was a little bit under 106. Doesn't give me the price here, but I think we closed. Let's Google what the dollar closed at. I don't know why the TD Ameritrade deal does that sometimes on the dollar. I was reading that some people, they were going to switch people. So it closed at 106.10, that they were going to switch Thinkorswim on people because Schwab bought TD Ameritrade. Chime in if you've heard anything of that nature, because I like the TD platform. I never traded on Schwab, and I have another account with Tastyworks, which I enjoy their platform too. So as you can see here, most of the foreign currencies were green. I like to trade the Aussie, the pound, the euro are the most active ones. The loonie and the Swiss franc have micros. All those five have micros. I think there's 5 micros in the currencies. M6A, M6B, M6C, that's 3. MSF, 4, and MCD. And volume-wise, the one that had the most was the euro, then the Aussie, then the pound, then the loonie, and then the franc, in that order. Those are the most actives, and those are tradable products. Not a lot of buying power, easy to manage, and don't really get whipsaw big on those. Bitcoin closed up 550. Another one I don't get. There's a lot of things I don't get, but whatever. It is what it is. Markets can be irrational. I didn't have a good day or week. Crude was down 8%. I tried to buy the dip in there, and it kept dipping. It's okay. I'll hold it because I think the fundamentals in oil, I think they'll be very volatile in oil. And I think that that supplies are limited, and with all the cuts from OPEC, and us needing to refill SPR, it should bounce. So the thing is, it's a catch-22. The jobs report's good. That means more people are working, more people are driving. Also, they were saying that oil was going to go to about 100 a barrel with China opening up. So we'll see what happens with oil, but I'm long some oil micros, which I'm down. So yeah, it was a tougher week on the trading side for me, believe it or not. So Bitcoin, I don't get that one. I'm short on micro and Bitcoin. But those products move very, very slow. You need a huge move in Bitcoin to make like 1,000-point move It's like $100 on that contract. So I was maybe down $50 on that $500 move on that Bitcoin micro. But Bitcoin's trading at 28,160. Gold finally got a little bit of a bid, $15. Really couldn't get over that 1850 area, and I was also down big on gold, but it actually came back, and I'm pretty much even. My break even is 1850, and I'm long some gold micros. As you can see, when we go down here, you'll see the arrows indicating what positions I'm in. So I'm long 10-year, thinking rates should go higher. And I think the Fed will probably have to raise with this jobs report. And, inflation's really not in control. Everything's so expensive. So I think they still have to do more work. Ethereum up to 1650, the crypto side. So I did lean a little short, but it was a little too early on the rally. It just kept rallying throughout the end of the day. So I guess that's the cost of doing business. But I just think this is a technical bounce, and I think that the trend in these markets are lower. The trend in interest rates are higher, and that will put more pressure on the economy and companies. And I think oil fundamentals are still sound. I think the energy sector is somewhere you want to be in. I think this oil pullback is definitely worth a buy. I think precious metals will still do good in this inflationary environment, and you're giving a discount here to buy these pullbacks. And I think the indexes just got a technical bounce here, but I think we're going to head lower. That's just my 2 cents there. So S&P up 55, almost 4350. NASDAQ up 280 to 15141. And Dow Jones up 320 to 33,624. Natural gas, I think should be bought on any pullback. It went straight through $3, and now we're at 333. Didn't really get any pullbacks after the last report, and they're indicating there's colder weather heading our way for the season. Not here in Florida, but up north. So that's bullish for natural gas. Hog the let me see what the feeders and the hogs. Hogs were up $1, feeders up $1, and cattle up $1. So all the meats were up, and the grains were all down a little bit. The weakest of the bunch is soybeans. I got along a little bit of. Obviously, you could tell that as I think the dollar will eventually roll over with all these debts and deficits the country is running. That'll make the dollar weaker, and eventually I think this dollar is going to roll over, and then you're going to see a big move into commodities. That's just my take. Silver, 21.77, up 75 cents. Nice day for silver. I don't have any positions there because I'd rather have the physical. And that's pretty much it. VIX down 45, so they took some premium out for the weekend, under $18. On the bar chart, everything was up huge. Tesla was kind of flat. Nvidia up 10, Apple up $2. Chime in if you guys are getting the new iPhone, if you're upgrading. I don't hear much people talking about that. New one's out. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't need to upgrade. Even though my phone's cracked in the back, I dropped it and it cracked, unfortunately. Doing my daily walk here, trying to get some steps in here in the morning before it gets really hot. Kid plays today at 2 p.m. So probably be a hot game for her. That field, I don't know, that field, her home field, It's the first time in this club they have like little Seagrams, or I don't know what kind of bugs they are, but they're tiny and they're nasty. I got her some spray. So she plays today and tomorrow. So looking forward to it. Need a little break. This week was very solid in the car front. Now I don't know if dealers are speculating and just ramping up and buying cars because of the UAW strike. I'm not sure. Not sure if that has to do with that. But sales were pretty strong for us as a team, and me as an individual had a great week selling cars. Trading not so good. I got whipsawed yesterday. But it's okay. Whatever. I'm holding. I think that I see the trends, and I think the macro environment isn't the greatest. So who knows? 401k just sitting there in short T-bills. Probably getting, last report I got was like 5%. So you got bonds competing with stocks on the yield front. But bonds are getting crushed anyways, because remember, when bonds sell off, interest rates go up. So it's vice versa. So stocks are going down, bonds are going down, and hardly anything is working in this environment, to be sincere. Maybe it'll be prudent to look at futures year to date. See what, I know the indexes are still up. The NASDAQ's still up. I think the S&P is still up. So we'll take a look at that. Let me open that up so I don't forget. I think it's called FinViz. Yeah, there it is, FinViz. I like this little website's pretty good for future year to dates. Let's see here. So they only have, they used to have year to date. Let me see. Oh, performance. Here we go. And then you can go year to date. Well, it's already, all right, so we have that up. It's already October the 7th, man. Halloween's here soon. It's crazy. Years flying through. We got election ramping up now in November, and we got a whole year of election campaigning. I think I heard that RFK might announce Monday running as an independent. Interesting him running as independent. And I don't know what's going on with I know they got this guy, the Speaker of the House, McCarthy. There were talks that Trump was going to be Speaker of the House. I'm not sure. I know that's not going to happen, but it's crazy what's going on there in Washington. It's sad. It really is. Especially with the debt that is just accumulating so fast. Remind me, I'm gonna also go chime in. I'm gonna do another lap, so this will be a longer video. But we'll look at some of the zero hedge articles that they put on there. I love those guys. They put some good stuff out there. But you can see here on the bar chart, everything was pretty much green. Meta up 10 to 315, Advanced Micros to 107, Amazon to 127. Amazon's having some issues with the FTC saying that they have some AI or some algorithm that allows them to raise prices on customers. So they're looking into that. It's hurting them on so something with monopoly and competitive pricing or something. So watch out for that. Hey, good morning. How are you? Have a good day. What was I gonna say? Short a little bit of AMC. Rivian got a bounce. They did an offering. They were down big this week. I did have success. I wanted to comment on something. I was going through all these bar charts I go through them every day, and I did weekly. So I did a lot of weekly options, like not this week, but for next week. And I saw myself having a lot of success this week with that and that account. That account, I managed to grow it. TD I'm using more for futures, and then Tasty I'm using more for options. And I had a lot of success doing the weeklies. So when tech was down early this week, I sold a lot of put credit spreads for this week coming up. I've already closed them all out because they all gave me 30, 40 bucks a day. Like, yeah, pretty much in a day, from one day to the next. And so that caught my eye because I did it several times this week, and it worked. So I might look at weeklies. Instead of going so long, 45 days, just do weekly stuff. Especially that the volatility is pretty high. It did work for me, so that was interesting. We can go in there and see what I have open. I don't have much open. I think I have Pepsi and Coke. Those were down big because of Opesic or whatever. Those weight loss drugs. It's saying that they're hurting their sales supposedly. AMC I did a little short for next week. ExxonMobil obviously was down with oil being down. Walmart, I think I day traded Walmart. It was down $4 or $5 at one point. Pinduoduo up 7. Don't know why they were up 7. Costco down 11. They were down 20 at one point. I did do a day trade in them, I think, on the weeklies. It worked out. It was like a quick 40 bucks maybe. I went wide. I went about $10 wide. So it was $1,000 buying power on the spread. Verizon, AT&T can't get out of the way. Those things have been they're pretty down. So you get the picture. Everything was pretty much up. Chevron down with oil. McDonald's was down 4. I did a trade in there. Yeah. That was pretty much it. Let me see here. So I have, this is all I have left from the options that I did on the weeklies. I'm holding Pepsi, Celsius, Dollar General, Chevron, all to go up next week. AMC short to go down. McDonald's, ExxonMobil, and Dexcom to go back up. Dexcom is also down. They measure your sugar for diabetes, but they're down because of Opesic or what? Opesic, I forgot the name of the drug. These weight loss drugs that Eli Lilly and Novo. Eli Lilly is another one that was up big. With that drug is hurting. So supposedly it's hurting fast food, and I know some people that are doing that injection, and it gives them nausea. They have a hard time taking a crap. They're not hungry. They definitely don't eat, and they lose weight. It works, but I know it causes some problems with their digestive system. They well, obviously they're not eating, so how are you gonna crap if you don't eat? So, yeah, but people do lose weight. So they're saying that Coca-Cola and Pepsi were down big. Some of the stores were down big because less people are going to eat out. And also there was an analyst saying that apparel companies should do better, clothes companies, because people need to get new clothes because their clothes are too big on them when they lose weight. And obesity is an epidemic, for sure, in this country. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Here is the year-to-date relative performance of futures. So this is for this year. Orange juice is up 111%. Sugar 50. Cocoa, 32. So the NASDAQ is up 31% this year. That is crazy. And that is basically because of the Magnificent Seven. For sure, that's the Magnificent Seven. No doubt about it. Nikkei, wow, Nikkei's up 23%. Didn't know that. Interesting. Ethanol up 20. Live cattle up 16, which are the meats. Feeder cattle, those are the little the babies, I guess. Up 14. Euro stocks 10. Oats 9. S&P 8. So we have the NASDAQ up 31%. That's just insane. And that boils down to basically those 7 companies that are monsters that I mentioned here. DAX up 6, cotton 6, gasoline 5, crude and WTI 3 and 4, $3, and the pound not even 1%. Biggest losers, obviously the VIX, 55%. Natural gas down 37, palladium 36, wheat 33, platinum 20, corn 18, Japanese yen 15, 30-year bond 13. So the bonds are doing worse than stocks this year. 10-year 6 and 30-year 13. Interesting. Silver 12% down for the year. Lean hogs 11, copper 6, gold holding its own at 3%. So interesting year-to-date chart on the futures. We have October, November, December. We got basically a quarter left on that. So, got hockey almost around the corner here. So here's some of the articles from Zero Hedge that I saw yesterday. I haven't seen what they're putting on today. Talking about Ukraine and all that. They had better articles when I ended up with some of these articles that they put here. Let me see how far back I can go. If I can go at least 24 hours here from the jobs report. Let's see here. Future yields rise ahead of jobs report. Yields rise, bonds sell off. Bonds and stocks alike face tough time going into payrolls. Tesla slashes Model 3 Y prices yet again. September non-farm payrolls 336 versus expectation of 170. Unemployment 3.8 versus expectation 3.7. Hourly earnings went down to 0.2 from 0.3. Hourly earnings 4.2 year over year against 4.3, so that went down a little bit. Weekly AI report reveals seasonal weakness in demand for gasoline, but how big of a deal is it? It has taken a deep look at the numbers and only one word is available. Ouch. Let's see what it says here on this chart. Inventories remain tight. Yeah. We know that with the SPRs being at 40-year lows. BLS, the change in total non-farm payroll unemployment for July was revised up by 79 from 157 to 236. And change from August was revised up by 40 to 227 from 187. Full-time workers, negative 22,000. Part-time workers, plus 151. Job shock, September payrolls unexpectedly soared by 336. Biggest jump since January. Multiple job holders, 123. You gotta have a couple jobs in this environment to just keep up with inflation. No one believes the administration anymore. Stock, bonds, and gold puke after gold good jobs data. Six Sigma beat almost 100K above the highest estimate. Chapter 11 findings by businesses soared to 61% so far this year. Downsizing. Bank of America reveres weight loss drug users could unleash apparel spending spree. That's where I read that. Fund flows and bond yields, two different stories. S&P races decline, touches intraday high. Dollar low. Yeah, dollar rolled over a little bit. Inside today's job report, 885 full-time jobs lost. 1.127 million part-time jobs added. OPEC raises oil demand. View in long term. Number of multiple job holders who were forced to hold full-time job as both primary and secondary jobs. Look at that, highs. Monthly change in non-seasonal adjusted full-time jobs. So there's good stuff here. If you guys are interested into reading articles and trends and getting different point of views on the data, there was one here that I wanted to touch base on. Well, actually, Fed's liquidation is currently around 100 billion negative. Big squeeze saves stocks from bond bloodbath. Bank loan volumes tumble despite surging deposits. Money market funds hit new record highs. Ford lays off 495 workers from UAW. And just in 18 days later, we are at 33.5 trillion in debt. That's 28.5 in debt, new debt per day. On pace to add another 1.5 trillion in months. To see the margin call moment, world now facing up to 70 trillion in global losses. Let me see what Peter said on the debt. I'm sure he has something to chime on the debt. He reposted the number of job holders who are forced to hold full-time jobs as both primary and secondary jobs. The yield on the 30-year Treasury is over 5% first time since 2009 at 4.85. The 10-year will soon follow, rising above 5 for the first time since 2007. Yields won't stop rising at 5, 6, 7. Handles will likely follow in 24, resulting in financial crisis. Even if Fed's done raising short-term rates, long-term rates still have a long way to rise. In fact, easing up on inflation fight means long-term bonds become even less attractive, meaning much steeper yield curve, lower stock prices, and weaker economy. Even if bond yields stay where they are, stocks need to be much lower. Higher rates lower earnings by raising interest expense and lowering revenue. As higher rates reduce the purchasing power of customers, plus the present value of future earnings is reduced by higher rates. Anyone claiming that recent core CPI data evidence inflation is close to the Fed's 2% target doesn't understand inflation, which is a function of excess demand created by an expansion of the supply of money and credit. Soaring public and private debt means higher inflation. Treasuries rallied this morning following a far weaker than expected. That was on Thursday. The ADP number was horrible, and then Friday's jobs report was great. So I mean, who has the data right? It's kind of like mind-boggling. Treasury rallied this morning, following a far weaker than expected ADP job report. But weaker labor market will actually put more upward pressure on bond yields, as it will add to already soaring federal budget deficits, making both supply and inflation problems worse. In case no one has noticed, the 400. Listen to this one. This one. I'll end it on this one, so you guys can grasp this information, and put it around your mind to think about what is going on in this country. It's just insane. In case no one has noticed, the U.S. national debt has risen by 444 billion in the past 2 weeks. At that pace, the U.S. would be adding 11 trillion per year to the national debt. Something is clearly wrong. A sovereign debt and U.S. dollar crisis can't be too far away. So I'm just gonna end it on that, folks. Rates higher for longer. We will get some gyrations in the dollar. Precious metals, think you have a nice dip here to add. Don't be a knucklehead like me that tries to pick tops and bottoms in the stock market. That one's a tough one. So, but I think it's going to be harder for this market. This just looks like the futures are on a downtrend. Technical bounce here. We'll see. Oil, another area where I think there's some value out there. And I still like the ag space. Gotta eat. There's some hype in the weight loss deal, so you could look around that, and obviously AI as well. But I think that commodities, we're getting an opportunity here with the dollar being stronger to get some deals in commodities, and don't hurt to be in a little bit of cash as well. Anyways, enjoy your Saturday, enjoy the football. Kings play tonight, Georgia Tech at 8. Definitely be watching that. Good luck to your Texas Rangers, Tejas. Wouldn't mind seeing them win. And so we got Texas against. Who's Texas playing against? We got all games today. The Orioles, tough battle. So the Orioles had like the 28th, 27th worst payroll in Major League Baseball, and they won the East. The Twins and Astros, I think the Astros will win that one. I don't know, between the Rangers and Orioles, I don't know who will win that series. Phillies and Braves, I think Braves should win that one, even though Phillies are hot, and Diamondbacks and Dodgers. We have 4 games today. The playoffs start. Well, they already started, but now we have the next round. And we have hockey and basketball soon around the corner. And we got college football today. So it's a lovely Saturday. At least here in South Florida, it's nice. Not a lot of clouds out here right now. Finishing my stroll. Try and stay healthy, folks. Stay on your path. If it's with the man upstairs or whatever you believe in, all the power to you. And stay healthy. Health is wealth. And keep learning and keep a positive attitude. And I'll see you in the next video. Like the channel, like the video. That helps me out. Subscribe if you like the content. And comment below if you have anything you want to discuss. Anyways, have a blessed weekend. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.